Hi, it's Mrs. Brown again. Hopefully these videos are somewhat helpful, not a little bit boring. I just wanted to quickly show you, I too have to keep an engineering journal. Of course I do. If I make my kids do it, I'm going to have to do it too. So you can see I have a table, I'll find it, a table of contents. So every time I add anything to it, I just write down what page it's on and what it is. And I'm going to be giving you things to start printing out. You're going to be adding them into your journals. And again, you're going to have a lot of designs in there, a lot of readings in there, just everything to help organize all of your work so that when you're like, where'd that go? Well, you'll know right where it is. It's in your engineering journal. We're also going to write up some calendars on things that we're going to do when we get to bigger projects, and that'll come in handy as well. Okay. In this lesson, we're going to talk about how to design a product once you have your research completed. So we're going to back up a little bit. We'll go a little bit faster this time. But again, I want to show you this learning progression. We started out just having to know criteria and constraints of the problem. And then we could use a little bit of help from somebody else to identify criteria. If you're struggling with this, don't worry. It just takes a little time and a little practice. We'll keep going through that. All right, then we went to, you would know the difference between a criteria and constraint. And you would probably just have to say that to me, maybe give me a call or be on a test, type it out to me, just what's the difference between the two. And then you'd be able to know all the criteria and constraints on your own. Well, now we're going to go up to level 3. Now, not only can you ID all of the criteria and constraints, I know, all of them, but you can use logical arguments to defend some of your answers. You'll notice that sometimes you'll put things down there and I'll be like, I don't know if I agree with that. But the beauty is you get to say to me, well, I think so because of this. Okay? So you just have to think, well, why do I want that there? And if you can explain it to me, then I'm going to accept that answer. But you have to be able to explain it to me. Okay, let's get on with the lesson. All right, remember, our client was Samantha Bark. She wants us to design and build a product that will increase the amount of heat and air around her apple slices. She wanted them to dry faster. Well, she didn't actually want us to build a rack. We did have $50 5 business days. So this is what we were looking at when we practiced research last time. We're just going to build off of that. Okay, so again, just like we did last time, I typed everything up with our client, everything we're being asked to do, our budget, and how much time we're going to have. Okay, now you would have done research on the different types of fans. I actually, see what I was thinking, I thought, okay, she wants something with heat, and she wanted something with air. So I decided I was going to research fans to make that airflow. I wanted to research, these are big grow lights that you can hang up over lights, and I thought, well, that's kind of cool. And then this one, I just thought if she wants these on her existing drying racks, I should be able to clip them on some way. So you can see, I really thought, what was my client asking me to do? Make this, she didn't even say, she said something. And then what kind of research would I want to do? So I might, if I give you feedback, I'll probably give you feedback on questions like, why did you decide to do research on that? Or why did you not decide to do research on something else? And it's quite frequently that we'll have to go back and look at our research anyway. Okay, so we have our research. And what I did for the design part is, remember I had asked you to do a, what did I call it, a summary or a big idea? I pulled out those big ideas. For this one, for the fans, it was the rotating blades. That was my big idea there. For the lamp, it was the clip-on, and here it was that wide heating surface. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those 3 big main ideas, I'm going to pull them together into one single Angel Brown original design. All right, let me show you how I did that. For this section, you're going to have to get your hands on some graph paper. It's really okay if you want to use regular line paper right now, but I would suggest as we get further down the line and measurement makes a difference, you're going to want to need some graphing paper. Okay, so I had those 3 main idea topics. And in my head, my idea was this. Hopefully you can see this already. I put in what I thought a drying rack would look like, and I added the apple slices. Remember, I had gone back, and even though she didn't want me to do a drying rack, I needed to know what it was. So I put in one, and I did a little research and found out it was about 3 feet long. Okay. Then what I did is I decided, I took the clip-on idea from the lamp on the aquarium, and I attached it to the back of my drying rack. But see, I was clever. I used a little background knowledge of magnets. I put metal, on the actual drying rack, but I put a magnet at the end of my something that I designed. And then I also took the great big long, well, the lamp actually had a square on it. I decided I was just going to make it curved. Now, what I did is I put in the size of my magnet. It's really quite wide, 2 inches wide, 6 inches high, and I labeled it right here. I said, that's a magnet. So anybody who went to build this would know exactly what I was talking about. Then in this long arm here, I actually labeled it adjustable bar. I'm going to make it out of metal and wires. And then I put the whole thing would be 2 feet wide. So that was the idea I used from the lamp. All right, now I put the fan blade idea together with the growing light, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I just take a big fan, hopefully, like I said, you can see it, and in the bottom of it, I'm going to embed a heating lamp. So it's going to come out and heat like this. All right, and I thought this was hard for me to draw. You don't have to be a good drawer in class, and so when I'm not good at it, I tend to do smaller side pictures, or I'll explain things in words. So I made a little sign right here, and I said, okay, here's my fan blade. And this area right here, I was going to make that 4 inches wide. At the base of it, this area here, I had made a note down here that I wanted that to be 8 inches. Okay? And then this metal part right here, which is also can be seen in a side view here, I labeled it that it's going to be made out of metal, but I put in down here, this thing keeps moving, that it's going to be a 7-inch diameter in what I was calling just like this metal hub part. So I can get that back. Technology, there we go. All right. So then what will happen is when you turn this on, the fan blades will go around, and it'll give that air movement that Samantha asked us for. But each of the fan blades would have a heating lamp on it that would provide the heat she asked for as well. And then I have a way to clip it on all of those drying racks. So you can see, this was just an Angel Brown version of how I could answer Samantha's problem. You might have come up with a totally different idea. In fact, the more clever you are, the more fun you have with this, the better your design for your client will be. Don't be afraid to include information from your parents, your grandparents, any background knowledge you have. All of that works when you're trying to come up with a solution for your client. So hopefully this video has helped. Remember, you're just pulling a bunch of ideas together. I warn you, be careful. Don't design something that you can already buy at Target or Walmart. We're going for something bigger, better, let's go Minnesota, funner, better idea. All right, thank you. Bye.